Hi again, Kim here. So I am going to take you to the English research guide and go into individual sources because one search can be kind of crazy. So call up your research guide and I'll call it up here from the library homepage under research, click research guides and click on English. So I want to take a look at the background information tab. On this tab, you see a few databases listed. I want you to pay particular attention to the Gale Virtual Reference Library. I'm going to enter Gale Virtual Reference Library and perform a search. What do I have here? Reginald Dwayne Betts. So here we have biographical information coming from two places. This second one, right off the top of my head, does not look relevant. It looks like it's a different author. We could investigate why that came up. There could be some connection, but I'm not seeing it right away. So here we have contemporary Black biography. This says he was born in 1979. And then we have some biographical information on him. So you can cite this as a source. Oftentimes there are little sidebars or other places where you can go. It looks like he has his own website. So for someone contemporary where there may not be a lot of critique yet from the academic scholars, you can definitely use websites. And on the research guide, there's a method you can walk yourself through in order to decide whether or not it's a credible website. All right, so we are in the Gale Virtual Reference Library and we are searching up an author. Notice the sources that were consulted, and then they have some online sources. So the bibliography or works cited of your source that you're reading can be a treasure map to more sources. That is something to keep in mind, because when you're studying contemporary authors and there's not much out there in the library databases, work with the librarian and confirm that first. But yes, definitely take a look at the works cited of good sources and then link yourself to those sources and use them as well. All right, so one of the neat things about these databases is that the source citation information is right here, and you can highlight, copy, and paste that into your Word document or Google Doc. I am going to back up again so you can just see where we were. We were on the English Research Guide on the Background Information tab. So Gale Virtual Reference Library is really the one source I want you to look at on this tab. Okay, we'll be back and looking at the Literary Criticism tab next. Just kidding, I lied. I'm not done. I love teaching from home. It's so confusing. Thank you for bearing with me. So back to the Gale Virtual Reference Library. I completely spaced out short stories for students and poetry for students. These are major resources that you need to be consulting, okay? They're really the best starting place for English 102 literary papers. So let's take Ralph Ellison. Okay, I see here Ralph Ellison, Invisible Man. Now the first chapter, Battle Royal, is the first chapter of Invisible Man. So we could type in Battle Royal, or we could take a look at this Ralph Ellison, Invisible Man, but I'm not seeing the short stories for students, and that's what I want to show you guys. So let me actually put in Battle Royal. Here it says Battle Royal short story. So I'm taking my time with typing in because sometimes what populates works better than what comes out of my brain. So here we have Battle Royal, or The Invisible Man, short stories for students, 22 pages of pure good stuff. So here's Battle Royal, or The Invisible Man, from Short Stories for Students, and like I said, 22 pages of good stuff to cite for your papers. What is this? Well, every single entry in Short Stories for Students follows the same pattern. You have the author biography, you'll have the plot summary, a character analysis, themes and meanings, which comes next. Major themes here: racism, alienation, American dream. So that can help you narrow your thesis or trying to understand the work. The other great thing about this short stories for students is look at the related subjects here. Brain freeze is the criticism. So let's take a look at the criticism section here. You'll see 3 separate works that you can cite. That first one was written by Kendall Johnson. This one is Cynthia A. Billy. So this is an article that was written to analyze Invisible Man. And this is what you're looking for. This is what you need. You need to read what other people have said about the story and then incorporate their analysis into your analysis. And that's how that works. So Gale Virtual Reference Library is pretty awesome. I have used Battle Royal as an example here, but you could certainly use like Good Man is Hard to Find. And I see here A Good Man is Hard to Find short story, so I'll click there. And I see some biographical information on Flannery O'Connor from American Writers. I also see the short stories for students entry. I'll click here. And again, it follows the same format with author biography first, plot summary, character analysis, and let's get down to here's historical context, very important. The critical overview, where you have criticism written by Elizabeth Piedmont Martin. Okay, it gives you her credentials here. She's an educator and the coordinator of Undergraduate Writing Center at University of Texas, Austin. So that essay is here, and that is a separate source, and you have the source information beneath the article. Here's an essay written by Michael Clark. And at the bottom of this essay, you can see this source was not originally written for short stories for students. It was published somewhere else, and then it was incorporated into this volume. So you do need to cite from where this article originally came, and it was published in English language notes. So you've got citation information here, and then you also tack onto that the short stories for students citation information. Yet another source. And at the bottom here, again, you can see this was originally written for studies in American fiction and then subsequently reprinted here. So it's a wealth of, it's just a great place to start. So I highly recommend Gale Virtual Reference Library, looking for short stories for students and also using it for background information on your author. All of the citations are here, so you can go over to this cite feature, which is actually up top here, and it gives you the citation information. So I mentioned combining the two citations on those critiques that were not initially written for short stories for students, and that information comes first, and then you say reprinted in RPT period, and you put this stuff there. I'm sure we have examples of that somewhere. Please feel free to, reach out to me if you need help with citation. You can also email or download these articles to yourself. So Gale Virtual Reference Library, have at it. Good stuff. See you in the next video.